Hi, welcome to the Road to Exchange. I'm Todd Rosenbluth with TMX Verify, and I'm here with Jennifer Morgan, CEO of Connective Communications. Thanks for joining me.
Thank you for having me, Todd. Great to be here.
Well, I mentioned the Road to Exchange. You're actually going to be back at the Exchange conference. You're going to be giving a presentation on story selling. Tell me what story selling means.
So story selling is the idea that when you show up and you talk to people, we love in financial services stats, facts, and metrics. The idea being that if you can connect to someone and make them envision something, see their future, really give them a path and outline something using a story, it's much more powerful. And there's benefits to it in the brain. Neuroscience and psychology tells us that if you share a story with someone, they're going to actually buy into it, they're going to believe in it, and they're going to be more connected to it as a result. So for example, if you use a story, someone's going to retire, you tell them they need hypothetically $5 million to retire. Well, that's one thing. But if you say, if you retire with $5 million and your life will be, you'll be able to take those 2-3 vacations a year, you will have a happier life, you'll be able to actually give your children next gen money as well. So it's really creating that story around what the stat or fact is to make it have higher impact so people can make more informed decisions.
So I know you talk to lots of groups. You're going to be talking to a full room, I believe, of financial advisors.
Yeah.
What do you think is number one thing maybe advisors don't fully appreciate as their value proposition?
That's really fantastic. I think, first of all, their value proposition is they are the ultimate subject matter expert. And the role and responsibility they have is to give the ultimate client service. But most importantly in that vein is that people are looking for advisement on how to live their most fulfilled and limitless future through investments. So what happens is oftentimes as we go as that subject matter expert, as an advisor in any capacity, we go in and we actually start sharing information without understanding and being that detective, that more consultative selling type of person or solutions focused. So oftentimes we'll go in and we won't ask enough needs analysis questions. We'll just go in and saying, I know what you're about. I know already what's happening. This is what you should do, without actually understanding what people's motivations are, what their hearts are, where their minds are, and what they want to do in the future when it comes to money.
And it's all about communication. And I know you've done and met with and trained lots of people across the financial services industry. What do you think about communications is worth people knowing about?
So I think communication in general, I think that sometimes people think that sharing a lot is impactful. And I really do believe using brevity, being succinct, and showing people the outline of what you want to do. Because I like to joke, it's about how the bicycle's been ridden, not how the bicycle's been built using what parts. We tend to, as subject matter experts, want to overshare and steamroll people with too much information and detail when we don't know if it's actually relevant to them or not. So it's an understanding what is the interplay. And I think also too, what's cool about the brain is functional MRIs. When you hook them up to people's brains, if someone is talking to you and sharing information with you, it's actually eliciting more trust from them. So oftentimes, if you're in a meeting, I tell people, attempt to talk less, let other people talk, because you'll understand motivation, their values, what their mission is, what their vision is, what really drives them. And then from there, you can create a solution to retrofit and actually help them to live a more fulfilled financial future.
So a lot of the effort, probably much of the effort that you put together for the session, as well as the book that you wrote, is based on your time at JP Morgan.
Yes.
I'd love to just connect the dots in terms of what you learned there towards how you're doing story selling.
Amazing. Well, thank you for asking. And the almost decade there, I'm so grateful for so many reasons. It was wonderful working with alpha type people, type A, super focused, goal oriented. So all great things to say about JP Morgan. And when I was there, I'm the type of person that when I walk into a room, I always look for process improvement. What can we do better? I walk into an eatery, I walk into a restaurant, I walk into a cafe, I walk in anywhere and I say, what can be done better? It's just the way my brain works. So being there, I saw these top performing teams closing double-digit billion-dollar deals. And I noticed that people were doing things in different ways, but in expert ways in one way, but not always the other way. So I noticed that really the number one thing, if I had to boil it down to one thing, is being extremely anticipatory. So I like to say you're at the crossroads of an intersection and you're at the crossroads, you can go right, left, or straight. And understanding if someone says no, if someone says yes, or if someone says maybe, how will you act, react, and respond in that moment? Because you spent sometimes weeks, months, and years building that relationship that can lead to transactional. So what will you do in that moment where someone gives you a no? What are you prepared to say to continue and possibly deepen the relationship at that moment? Is the no a firm no in sales, of course, just to be clear? And then is the yes, what will you do after that? Because I've actually seen deals unwind themselves. Someone said, yes, I'm ready. People keep talking, and then they actually undo the deal.
They talk themselves
out of the deal. The salesperson has said too much, said yes. So it's really being cognizant of what happens at that inflection point where you've presented something, shared something, got the feedback, done all the due diligence that you need to do to get ready for that interaction. And at that pivotal moment, at that fork in the road, if you will, or that cross section, maybe yes, no, what actually happens, anticipating how you will again react and respond. And I think that having that blueprint and everything that you do and really thinking about what is the goal, but also what will happen and being prepared is everything. It's the ultimate.
So take the W. So when you have it, sometimes take that win.
Exactly. Yes. And own it. And it's great to celebrate it as well.
So speaking of celebrating, and hopefully people can see it behind me, you have a book that's been very successful.
Thank you.
I hope people have a chance to take a look at it before they get to the Exchange Conference. But what's a key takeaway? I realize one is hard to be able to do, but what's one key takeaway from the book for people who want to get up to speed?
I think it is really about respecting people's time. I think that's an underpinning theme of the entire book. Because I think I always say in our finite life, I think everyone's going to hopefully live to 100 years of age, healthy and happy. We have 52,560,000 minutes of our life. That's not including seconds. No. That's not including leap years. So that 52 million plus number of minutes that we have, the fact that even you're here with me right now, Todd, means a lot to me. I have a lot of respect for you. I think you're fantastic at what you do. You synthesize information, you deliver beautifully, you make us understand complex things in a very digestible way. The fact that even you're here sitting here with me right now, that's a big deal because you could be doing one of a million other things right now, but you chose to be here and interview me today. So the book really is about respecting people's time and showing up as your most prepared self, anticipatory self as possible. And on the flip side of that, also giving people grace as well. So you don't know what's happening behind the scenes with someone in their lives when they show up in front of you. That's the second point. And I would say the third one, just to underline all the time as well, that being number one, it is about using frameworks to speak with brevity. So asking questions that are more synthesized, more succinct. It's having this interaction that's much more of a dialogue versus a monologue as well, which often people actually sometimes do by accident or by intent. So it's really understanding, listening, being cued in. But at the end of the day, it's understanding that the more prepared I am for your time with me, you're respecting my time, I'm respecting your time, the more enriching and fulfilling conversation we'll have as a result.
We're certainly having it here in front of an audience as well.
Thank you.
For it. So one final thing for people who are not yet signed up for the Exchange Conference, or if they are signed up for it, what's a teaser for what they're going to get out of the 100 minutes that they have with you at the conference?
Thank you so much. So it's going to be a very, very action-packed session. So what to expect out of the 100 minutes, the story selling session, it's really neuroscience of persuasion. So it's going to be talking about how the brain works and how you can translate research that's been done on the brain and use that for your everyday. So an example would be you're sitting in front of two advisors. There's the loss anticipation theory. People are more worried about losing the $100, think about gambling, than they are actually about winning or gaining the $100. And that's why people stay invested or they gamble so much, because they always think they're going to be able to have that turnaround moment. So that's one of the things we're going to talk about. What do you do when people are in that situation? And how do you actually flip the script to help them find a way out of that with the communication and the words that you use? Oftentimes it's mentioned that the pen is mightier than the sword. I like to say that the word that you use has the ultimate power even over the pen and even over the sword. Because of that, the way I talk, the way I interact, my energy, my connection to you, my tone, my pitch inflection, it can literally make or break someone's day. So I think it's really about setting the right resonance with other people and what is your intent going into the conversation? How do you show up, share, and prepare?
Well, I'm excited to have you back at the conference. I'm excited. We've got a strong roster of speakers and a lot of advisors signed up. So if you're not signed up for the Exchange Conference, visit exchangeetf.com. We'll see you there.
Thank you so much, Todd. Appreciate your time.
My pleasure.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot, everybody. Have a good day.